Hi, my name is Michelle Iverson, and I'm super happy to meet everybody here today and tell you a little bit about myself. My journey in graphic design started when my youngest daughter graduated from high school. And I was super happy because I felt like for the first time I could kind of do what I wanted to do. So I went back to school. I started a graphic design program at San Diego City College, and it was a little bit of a shock for me to go back to school at this time, but I met a lot of great people, had some great teachers. I was super excited to take my first class in color theory, which, for those of you who don't know, color influences graphic design in incredible ways. But it wasn't until I took my first class in typography that things really started to change for me. I started seeing type everywhere that I went. I learned about leading, about type families, just pretty much everything that a young graphic designer needs to know. But once again, I still reverted back to being a mom. I started making type cookies. Yes, this was a fun project, and I kind of was combining my love of graphic design with still thinking and acting like a mom. And yes, I do crochet, and as you can see, I started crocheting type. I really cannot impress upon you how much learning about type really affected my life. It wasn't until I started traveling that I realized I could draw inspiration not just from being a mom, but from places that I had gone to. And this was really a big change in how I saw the world and saw graphic design. I started to incorporate ideas from all over and started to get inspiration in that way. This was a project that I worked on that really started my knowledge about branding and how important that is to, companies, because it isn't necessarily just a logo or a website that companies need. They really need an all-over brand that tells their story and lets customers know why it's important for them to shop with their company and maybe not somebody else's. And so I started to incorporate branding into most of my projects, and this particular one was a young restaurant that was opening up, and we wanted something really fun for the people that were going to be ordering. So we did this great menu that was interactive. We did a whole package of branding to include some of the decorations in their restaurant as well as their products that they were going to use. So this really was a way to express a fun, young vibe that would work for a new restaurant, something a little bit more modern and would appeal to an age demographic between 18 and 30. Now, at this point, I transferred to AAU in San Francisco, and I'm so glad that I did because I really extended my knowledge into the world of UX. And in addition to branding companies, I learned all about market research, finding out what users want, trying to focus all of our design around things that the user needs and how to make that a better process for them. And really, this is critical to any type of motion graphics or, web design, cellular design that we're doing these days, because customers want ease of use. And yes, it's great to have your branding on there, and it's super important, but no amount of branding is going to help bad design. And so now at this point, I look at the user first and foremost before any kind of design decisions, and think about what's going to make them want to stay on that website. But once again, I'm still a mom, and so here's a road trip that I took on one of my summer breaks, and luckily I was able to take some of my experiences on this and create. Pack up the camper, open boondocker, and hit the open road. Our one-of-a-kind maps show you how to get to the best camping spots that are off the grid and won't cost you a penny. So let's adventure with Boondocker. The RV To-Do app has many lists that keep you organized and remind you of the step-by-step procedures you need to follow to have a great RV trip. Use one of our many pre-programmed lists that are fully customizable to meet your needs, or create your own list from scratch. Check off the items one by one as you finish them, and never again will you forget the important steps that help you have a stress-free vacation and a fun RV trip. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of information about me and my journey, how I try to incorporate all those aspects into my design work.